Listen up. I've got 3 massive Celtic stories for either day. And trust me, each one's bigger than the last. Johnny Kenny setting Ireland on fire, Kasper Schmeichel dropping a truth bomb about his future, and a twist involving Martin O'Neill that could change everything at Parkhead. And the final story, that one's the real belter. Stick around till the very end. We have 6 news a day to keep you updated with the mighty Celtic. Hit that subscribe button and be part of it. Listen, let me tell you straight, this young lad, Johnny Kenny, he's no just knocking on the door at Celtic anymore. He's kicked it clean off the hinges. Honestly, if you told me a few months back, when he was gathering dust under Brendan Rodgers, like an old scarf forgotten at the back of the cupboard, that he'd be catching fire for Celtic and rocking up for Ireland in a World Cup scrap, I'd have said you'd been drinking too much iron brew mixed with wishful thinking. But here we are, 4 goals in 4 games for the Hoops, confidence pouring out of him like rain on Sucky Hall Street, and the Ireland gaffer thought, aye, get the boy in, see what he's made of. And my word, did he show he belongs on that stage. Picture it, big night in Budapest, Hungary 2-1 up, Ireland dangling off the cliff. And who do they send on? Wee Kenny from Sligo, the Celtic lad who plays like every chance is life or death. He got a half hour, and that half hour was chaos. The good kind, the kind that makes you lean forward on the sofa and start muttering things like, "Go on, son," as if he can actually hear you. The Irish media loved him, and rightly so. One of them even said the keeper made a world-class save to stop him, and you know what? It was world-class. Kenny ghosts in at the back post like a wee thief in the night, and he's inches away from planting the ball into the net and stealing the spotlight off Parrott. Imagine that. Ireland's big hero hat-trick lad shoved aside because the Celtic boy wanted a taste. But it wasn't just attacking. At one point, he sprinted back to win a ball near left back, like a man who knows every blade of grass matters. It's that kind of shift that gets you loved at Celtic. It's why Calmac is worshipped. It's why Ange's boys were adored. And it's why Kenny, mark my words, is going to give some folk in Glasgow sleepless nights. And I don't mean Celtic folk, I mean the lot across the river who are already crying more than the clouds above the Clyde. His stats? Tidy. 1 shot on target, 1 big chance, 9 touches, ran himself into the ground. But forget the spreadsheets. What matters is he didn't shrink. He didn't bottle it. Pressure suits him. That's what separates the real ones from the ones who crumble faster than Rangers in a title race. And here's the thing I keep thinking. If this is him now, at this age, with this kind of confidence, what happens when the next manager, whether it's Nancy or whoever Desmond fancies next, decides to actually build him up rather than hide him behind the bench like some forgotten souvenir? This could be the start of something proper. Now, here's the big one for you, and don't dodge it. Do you think Johnny Kenny should become a regular starter for Celtic already? Or am I getting carried away like a dafty in the stands after a late winner? Because I swear, the lad looks more dangerous right now than half the forwards we've faced all season. What do you think? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's G it loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts. Listen, let me sit you down and talk about Kasper Schmeichel, because this one's got a bit of everything in class, loyalty, family, and maybe even a wee hint of drama to warm your day, like a pint after a cold, windy stroll down Sucky Hall Street. Kasper, the big Danish wall at the back, the lad who's kept us steady through storms thicker than the excuses coming out of Ibrox, is finally talking about his future, Murray, and it's a lot deeper than folk maybe expected. He's got just over half a year left before the chat about contracts really heats up, and while we're all thinking about clean sheets, trophies, and watching him roar at defenders like a man possessed, Kasper's mind is also on something far bigger. His weans. He's got kids at the age where exams and school and all that serious life stuff matters more than anything. and he said it himself. Football's important, but family comes first. You've got to respect that. It's real. It's grounded. It's the sort of thing that reminds you these players aren't robots. Even though Kasper does move like one of those giant metal titan things when he's smothering a one-on-one. But don't get mistaken, he loves it here. 7 clean sheets in 11 games. That's not just good, that's Celtic good. That's make the Rangers strikers look like frightened kittens good. And under Martin O'Neill, he's been massive, stepping up when the squad's been stretched thinner than a takeaway pizza on a Saturday night. Now, the plan is for him and the club to have a proper sit-down in February or March, talk things through, figure out if the story continues. And I honestly hope it does, because there's just something about Kasper in that Celtic shirt that feels right, feels solid, feels like we've got a commander at the back again. But here's where it gets interesting. His understudy, Vinny Sinisalo, the Finnish lad's had enough of being the bridesmaid. He wants to play. He's talking about hunger, desire, frustration, all the emotional stuff, and you can feel it, can't you? Like a kettle screaming on the hob. And fair play to him, no keeper worth anything wants to sit watching from the stands like someone who forgot their season ticket at home. Thing is, should he be playing? Not ahead of Kasper, not right now. You don't bench a keeper who's saving you points like their coupons at the shops, but you can feel the tension building. One wants stability, one wants minutes, and Celtic wants trophies, always. So here's what I'm asking you, and don't bottle it, because this one's going to split opinions wider than a decision from VAR at Ibrox. Should Celtic stick with the experience of Kasper for as long as he wants to stay, or is it time to hand the gloves to Sinisalo before he gets fed up and bolts? What's your call on this one? Hit like, hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's g it loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs. Listen, let me tell you, this story about Martin O'Neill's future has me grinning like ye after a last-minute winner against the Blue. There's something brewing behind the scenes at Celtic, something a bit political, a bit clever, and very, very Parkhead. You've got folk screaming for change at board level, louder than the weather screams through Sucky Hall Street on a Tuesday, and the board, they're feeling the heat. The not another penny stuff is biting so hard they're discounting shirts before Christmas, and that never happens unless their nerves are jangling. So what's the chat now? The big rumor floating about, whispered here, shouted there, is that Martin O'Neill might be heading upstairs. Not as manager, but as some sort of boardroom presence, and let's be honest, that would shake things up more than dropping a blue nose into the Green Brigade section. Think about it. Martin comes in, lifts the mood, steadies the ship, boots the Rangers out the cup for good measure, and suddenly folk are singing his name like it's 2001 again. He's brought back that sense of pride, that feeling you get when Calmac sticks one in from distance, or when Dyson's causing chaos on the wings, and the board sees that. They're no daft. They know folk trust Martin more than they trust half the suits sitting up in the padded seats pretending they know how to fix a football club. Keith Jackson's saying Celtic might use O'Neill like a political shield, stick him on the board, calm the punter down, build a bunker round the rest of them so the chants don't hit quite as hard. It's not a daft idea. Even if it's cheeky, folk adore Martin. You'd probably adore him even if he told you your haircut was rotten. And here's the thing, with Wilfried Nancy basically packing his bags and picking out his new coat for the Glasgow rain. Nancy, by the way, could cost around £2 million in compensation. The club has to decide what happens to Martin and Sean Maloney. There's been meetings, there's been talks. There's been the sort of quiet discussions that usually end with a press release that says mutual agreement, even when it was anything but. But imagine Martin sitting in the boardroom. Imagine him looking across the table at the folk who've let European ambition drop off a cliff. Imagine him saying, no good enough. That would rattle them more than any banner or boycott ever could. So here's what I want you to chew on, and Dinny shy away from it. Would bringing Martin O'Neill onto the Celtic board be a masterstroke? or just a distraction to stop you shouting for real change. Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's get loudy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs.